What's something men do to impress women that actually impresses women? My girlfriend started touching me in my sleep and it's ruining our relationship. When we first started dating, she'd pull me straight to the bedroom whenever she saw me, but she suddenly stopped a few months ago. And whenever I go to kiss her or try to sleep with her, she quickly shuts it down. Honestly, I thought she wanted to break up with me and would never touch me ever again. But one night while I was in the middle of falling asleep, she softly poked my cheek. I stayed still to find out what she was trying to do, and then suddenly felt her lips on my forehead. I realized that she was checking if I was asleep, and that it was also the first time she was initiating something intimate with me. Since then, it's become routine for her to poke my cheek to see if I'm sleeping, and then kiss me on my forehead, lips or cheek. I found myself looking forward to it every night because while I'm awake she's really distant. I can barely get a high out of her, and because she doesn't speak to me I also have no idea why she changed out of nowhere. Since she was so distant, it made me really miss her, and it's why I love those moments at night when she finally let herself get close to me. But one night she changed her routine a bit. After kissing me on my forehead, she started caressing my cheek. I heard her sigh and it sounded like she was mentally tired. Then, she said that she was sorry I was stuck with an ugly woman like her, but she couldn't bring herself to break up with me because she loved me too much. I just froze. I had no idea if I should jump up and console her, or continue to pretend to be asleep to see if she would say something else. When she laid down next to me, I knew we had to have a talk. I sat up, turned on the lights, and asked her what she meant by that. I saw that she was shocked, and then started tearing up. I went to hug her, but she immediately backed away from me. My heart just broke and I almost started crying with her. I guess she noticed because she started explaining herself afterwards. She admitted that she had changed so much that she barely recognized herself anymore, and she believed that there was no way I could still like her if she didn't like herself. I asked her if this had anything to do with her not touching me anymore, and she said she thought I wouldn't want her to sleep with her anymore. I asked her to talk to me so that we could get through this rough patch together. She hesitated again, but when I reminded her that this was the most we had talked in months, she started opening up to me. She stood up and lifted her shirt, which is when I saw her bloated gut. She's always been skinny, so I asked her how that happened. She struggled not to break down as she explained that things have been so stressful for her at work. She's had to manage multiple projects at once, and it's drained all her energy and she sometimes forgets what she even has to do. So, she started eating junk food as a sort of comfort. I told her I wished she had come to me instead, but she said she felt so guilty for letting things get so bad. She even admitted that she went out of her way to hide this from me by wearing baggy shirts and staying at the office really late. Even though she hid it from me, I still felt like an idiot for not noticing how much she was struggling. But I was going to make up for my mistakes by doing anything now to make her feel good about herself. She immediately started sobbing and I held her tightly. She apologized for being a burden, and I told her I'd shoulder all her misfortunes and mistakes, because she's the ocean I'm willing to drown in. The next day, I thought of the perfect way to help her. I started cooking her favorite meals and visiting during work for lunch dates. It was perfect because she wouldn't need to rely on fast food for meals anymore, and I could spend time with her. We also started going on walks, so that she could lose the weight she had gained. She was enjoying herself and it made me so happy, but considering she was only still touching me while I was asleep, I knew I had to take things a step further. So, I decided to search up what was actually wrong with her, and when I looked into her symptoms, I found the cause of her bloated gut, lack of energy, and forgetfulness was because her liver wasn't properly processing foods like lard and meat. So, not only was all that food sitting in her body longer than it should, I also found out that it could lead to cirrhosis, which has no cure, and if you want to go down a rabbit hole, search it up. I didn't want to lose her, so I made her hop on everyday liver vitamins I found on Amazon. She trusted me completely, so she always took 2 pills. The changes were obvious in the first week since she was coming home early again. After 2 weeks, she mentioned that she was on top of her projects because she felt more energized and wasn't forgetting stuff anymore. Her boss was even praising her and hinting at a raise. I was so happy for her and I just had to hug her. After a month of her taking the everyday liver vitamins, she said that the vitamins had decreased her cravings for junk food and made her want to stick to a healthier diet from now on. I didn't even know you could curb cravings by just clearing out your liver. I told her that was good because she could have died from all that grease she was consuming regularly. After committing to using the vitamins for 2 months, her body was skinny and toned. Honestly, I couldn't believe it was all a result from some everyday liver vitamins I found online. In fact, it was really good news because they had cleansed her liver. And for all the girls and guys with a gut, my girlfriend's gut disappeared, and she even lost 10 pounds because come to find out clearing out your liver also helps with weight loss. I was so thankful for everything, and my girl ended up expressing her thanks to me by wearing my favorite clothes of hers. When she wore my favorite dress, I couldn't help but tell her she is the most beautiful person I've ever met, inside and out. She surprised me a lot when she said, "I could kiss you right now." I hadn't been able to properly kiss her for months, so I didn't hesitate in kissing her. I never knew that drowning could make me feel so alive.